In this episode, you'll discover why Ikigai isn't a finish line, but a daring series of experiments that turns passion into purpose, one confident step at a time. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome to a very special episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. Today, I'm sharing two powerful interviews with two amazing women who both attended a recent retreat I attended called Ikigai in Nature in Zermatt, Switzerland. You will hear my podcast interview with the amazing author of the book, Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life, Frances Morales, very soon. But as a lead up to this, I'm sure you'll be interested in hearing perspectives from real women around the globe who are going through their own transitions and their challenges and hopes and dreams. I'd like to hear from you. How do their stories relate to your own? Don't hesitate to drop me a line at kavita@itsmytimenowcoaching.com to share how their experiences resonate with you. Today, you'll hear the first two interviews, followed by the next time, which I will share the next two incredible women that I have interviewed. What I find most interesting is that despite what location we live in or the backgrounds we have so much in common and so many common challenges and desires that we all face and that we can all learn from. The first woman, Lisa, shares how she's transitioning from 25 years in the banking industry to become a coach and how she's transitioning at her own pace so as to establish herself first in her new career. The second, Lynn, also spent 30 years in the government research sector in Canada and is establishing herself as a coach and consultant, and she is doing it on her own terms, according to her own lifestyle, health, and wellness requirements. She realized that she really did follow her ikigai of mentoring, coaching, and consulting all her life, but actually didn't realize it at the time. So now that clarity has brought focus into what she's doing now. So, my friends, our ikigai can evolve over time, and finding it requires time and patience as well. Enjoy their different perspectives, and don't forget to stay till the end for their key takeaways. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a career and life transitions podcast. If you're asking yourself what's next, you are in the right place. Today, I'm really pleased to have on the show a wonderful woman from whom I'm shared a week with at a beautiful resort called Ikigai Nature in Zermatt, Switzerland. And I thought it would be wonderful for you, our listeners, to really hear firsthand what transitions other women are facing across the globe, and as well as their challenges, and how finding our reason for being or our ikigai may help in the process of rediscovery. So today we have on the show Lisa Solanas. Yes? Did I pronounce that right, Lisa?
Yes.
Just so nice to have you. It's been so nice to spend the week with you and in this beautiful location.
Same with me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, Kavita.
Oh,
I'm really excited about this.
Yes, so am I. So just to start, Lisa, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and also what drew you to coming to this retreat.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Lisa Solanos. I come from Cyprus. I live in Nicosia. And I have been an ICF, International Coaching Federation, accredited coach for the past 2 years.
Nice.
I am researching and studying Ikigai for a couple of years now.
Nice.
And because of the place, Zermatt, that is so promising and it was so exciting to be here,
yes,
I decided to come to this retreat.
Okay. So you came as to learn more about Ikigai, to expand your knowledge for your practice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
For this reason.
Right. So would you say that your business or your coaching practice is in transition? You're kind of grow it, or are you?
Yeah. I think I should go just a little bit back in time and say that I am in transitional period in my life.
Yes.
As after being in the banking industry for 25 years, I decided to take the early retirement scheme and leave 2 years ago to start something new, something different in my life.
Yes.
And that's when coaching came across me. And I'm really excited I did that transition.
Amazing.
Still going through that transition because it takes a long time to change from financial industry to something so different like coaching.
Yes.
But I'm really fascinated about everything I learn about coaching. And of course, Ikigai is something that really interests.
Yes. Yes. I can completely relate because I was also in the corporate world for 25 years, I think you know, and it was about 5 years ago. So not much later than you and turning to coaching. I know it takes a while to develop the business and establish yourself. So Lisa, what would you say right now as we're here, you've come to the retreat and maybe in the recently, what would you say is maybe one of your biggest challenges that you're facing at the moment?
Yeah. My biggest challenge at this time is to balance both having a full-time still in the financial industry and doing coaching as part-time.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Okay, you're still doing both. Okay.
Yes, I'm doing both.
Okay.
And the challenge is to balance both kind of fields together.
Yes. Yes. That's actually that's a really big challenge, I'm sure, but it's actually pretty smart that you're doing that because oftentimes women come to me and they say, I have to give it all up because I really want to do this one thing, but I have to give it all up. And I often say, no, you don't. You can do it part-time. You can see how you like it. You can build up your clientele so that's really good. And so the challenge is to balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's to balance and also to incorporate both fields together.
Yes.
Because there is a common place for both fields. I'm doing also executive coaching.
Perfect. Yes.
So I try to take advantage of all the experience I have in the industry and also bring the new ideas of coaching and, of course, the benefits of coaching.
Yes, that's perfect. So you can marry the two.
Yes.
Yes. And then eventually, do you want to leave the full-time and
hopefully,
then?
Yes, hopefully when I build my business around coaching, my profession, I would love to go full-time into coaching.
Yes, yes.
But step by step.
Of course. Yeah, that's wonderful. And so I know that sometimes this is a challenge for many women who may be listening as well, is that this work-life balance, it is a challenge. How is that affecting your life or is it impacting you in any way?
After leaving the banking industry, where balancing work and life was more challenging. And through coaching, I found the tools and the way to change our state of mind behind this balance. Because it's everything, it's our little decisions that we make every day that makes the difference.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I mean, when you need to work for 24/7, let's say, and be accountable for all the responsibilities you have in your profession, in your business, that's where you have to put your limits because demanding positions require that you work as much as you can. But this is for you to decide where to stop. And in order to give your full potential and your full capacity and productivity on your work, you have to take care of your well-being first.
Absolutely. Yes. It's boundaries, right?
It's boundaries and to know when to say no.
Yes. Yes. That's really, really good advice. And I think everyone listening should really take that because otherwise that can lead to burnout. Right? So that's really great. Thank you for sharing that. So Lisa, We've been learning about, you've learned about Ikigai and you saying you're studying it.
Of years
Yes.
now.
So what do you feel would be for our listeners? What would you feel is the aspect of the Ikigai concept is the most important or the first thing maybe that we can incorporate into our life?
For me, the most interesting and fascinating thing is to compare and find your passion, to compare what you love to do and what you do best. Because actually, when you love something, when you like something to do, you do it well.
Yes.
So I think the point is to investigate in yourself, try different things, explore new hobbies, new activities, new qualities.
Yes.
And when you find that and that resonate with you,
yes,
in your heart, that's your passion. And then of course you will do it your best.
Yes.
So finding this, that is the two circles of Ikigai.
Yes.
I think it's the most important and the first step to do.
Yes. I agree with you. Yeah, I think finding the passion is very important. And often what I will advise my clients is think about what you were doing when you were a child, perhaps.
Yes.
What happened when time went by, and can you bring that into today? And because sometimes it's difficult for people to know, I don't know what I'm passionate about, right? Whereas diving deep into some of those questions is very important.
Yes, you're right. If we go back to our childhood,
yes,
we can find our authentic self.
Yes.
And see with no restrictions, no social expectations,
yes,
no other barriers. What do we really love?
That's wonderful. That's really great. So I think that's a great idea because if you start with a passion and then you go into the other circles, that's very important. So we've gone through quite a few exercises this last week and conversations. What kind of really resonated with you in those and maybe created some clarity for you? Anything in particular?
Yeah, sure. The walking meditation we did today was really very interesting for me. Actually, I felt myself going through a breakthrough. I mean, discovering and all the things coming again in my mind, what we did up to now, the last 4 days, our qualities, our self, our trust, relationships, all this came together through the meditation and of course around this beautiful nature.
Yes.
Looking at the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
We had the little rain as well, walking up in the nature.
Yes.
All this made a clear intention for me and make me understand and realize what are my next steps through my Ikigai, of course.
Yes. Did you gain any new insights like through working through your Ikigai and through the meditation? Was it some like aha moment or some revelation that you hadn't?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to share if it's personal, but I'm just wondering.
Oh, I can share.
Yeah.
Being next to nature all these days made me remember how much I get connected and grounded when I am in nature and how much I love this. And through the hiking I did yesterday and through the walking meditation today, gave me ideas that maybe my team coaching workshops will be in nature in future.
Isn't that interesting? So that's kind of your passion that you marry with, and you bring it into your work.
Yes. So I can compare both.
Yes.
Then I will be more grounded. And also my coach is people participating and we get the most out of it.
Yes. Yeah, that's amazing. So are you going to take steps to do that?
After this? I already started planning and thinking in myself, in my head, how I'm going to do this new workshop in nature back in Cyprus.
Well, I think that's really an important piece because for anyone listening, if you really step in, take some time to give yourself the time to rediscover things that maybe you think that you're doing fine and we are doing fine, but these little moments when we uncover something that we didn't know about ourselves before. And that's the power of going through the Ikigai and the power of these kind of, also the connections I think that we've created.
Yes,
right?
Yes. We've met some very valuable people here.
Yes.
And we all share we are same-minded people.
That's right.
And through our Ikigai, each of us can compare and can attribute to everyone's Ikigai and how we achieve our goals.
Yes. I love that. It's really important. I felt that as well. During the meditation, it was very powerful for me.
Yes.
So Lisa, people who are listening to this podcast are mostly majority women who are in transition, whether in their careers or in their life. And often they're either confused or they're maybe not confident in themselves, right? So what from you're in transition as well, and you also coach others to do that. What would be one maybe piece of advice that you would give the listeners?
I would say don't hesitate. If you feel you need to make this transition, any time is a good time when you feel it in your heart, and trust the process. Go for it. Find your accountability partners, people that can support you in your environment. Investigate in different areas. Try to find your Ikigai, your passion. And when you find your why, as we read in the Ikigai book, when you find your why, the how comes. So don't hesitate, just go for it. And the new world may be in front of you, like coaching happened for me.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason. It happens at the right time for each person.
That's so well said. Very well said. In fact, I asked this question of Francis Morales, who wrote the book yesterday, and my interview with him. I said, we're always often in the modern world we're concerned about how do we do this? How do we do this? But if we focus instead on why, then, as you said, the how. So that's perfect advice. Really, really good. So maybe I don't know if this is relevant, or if you think of maybe any misconceptions or maybe falls around Ikigai that you've come across, or that maybe personally you've seen, or anything like that.
Yes, I think what we need to clarify is that Ikigai, it's not a destination. Ikigai is a process.
Yes.
And just wondering what our Ikigai is, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. You just don't leave the time pass by.
Yes.
You have meaning in life.
Yes.
Even if that meaning is to find my Ikigai. It's like finding Ithaki for Odysseus.
Yes.
So just to have this in mind, that is not something static.
That's right.
It's changing. It's evolving like we are.
Yes.
So we need to try it and give it the trust.
Yes. That's so true. It's a journey, just like life is a journey, and it changes. You know, I think Francis says that our Ikigai can change every 6 to 7 years. So don't feel like you have to stick to it, because we are evolving as humans as well. So wonderful. It's been so nice to hear your perspective and your obvious knowledge of Ikigai and how you've used it in your life as well. Tell us how, for people who are interested in learning more about you, or maybe want to reach out to you as a coach, how can they find you?
Sure, they can find me through social media. My name is Lisa Solonos, and I'm available to assist anyone that needs assistance to achieve their goals.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Kavita.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure.
Talking to you.
It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today, I'm so pleased to have on the show a wonderful woman and friend who I've known for a few years now, whom I've shared the last week with on an incredible retreat in Zermatt, Switzerland, called Ikigai in Nature. I thought it would be wonderful for me as to share for you as our listeners to really hear firsthand what transitions other women are going through throughout the world, and to hear their challenges that they're also going through, and also find out how finding our Ikigai, or reason for being, may help in the process of rediscovery. So I'm very pleased to have on the show today, Lynn Plant.
Thank you, Kavita. It's just a pleasure to be here. I've seen so many of your podcasts, and to be participating in one of them is truly an honor.
Oh, well, we've worked together, and you've just taken everything, and you're so accomplished, and I know that you've been through a few transitions, so let's get into talking about those. So maybe for our listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, where you're from, and what drew you to this retreat.
So as you said, my name is Lynn Plant, and I spent most of my careers alternating between the private sector in science and technology and research, and commercializations of technology and research and development labs with the Government of Canada. And after I finally left full-time employment with the Government of Canada, it was a matter of finding, okay, what do I do now? Because I know I'm not going to stop working. Although I had planted seeds all along, was it still the right direction for me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a really common question, right? Like, what's next for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is that what you say? Like, that was a transition when you left. So what kind of, is that similar to what you're going through now, or what other transitions might you be going through?
Well, definitely dealing with some health challenges. So it's not just a matter, for me as a person, I do not want to continue working full time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for something that I can do at my own rhythm, according to my capacity, my interests, and to be able to blend it in with my other interests of traveling with my husband, family, etc. So it's a different time in my life. I don't want to be in a rat race and fully working and fully engaged, but I want it to be interesting and feel like I'm doing something that has value and purpose.
That's such an important point, because for anyone listening, if you feel as though, like, the retirement is a word that I don't really like it. We discussed this before, but you can design your life the way you want it, according to your limits or your opportunities. So it doesn't have to be like a one size fits all, right? So that's really great to know. So, Lynn, if I was to ask you right now, sitting here, like, what would you say might be your biggest challenge at the moment in life?
The biggest challenge is balancing, like for me, is balancing health and trying to get working towards my Ikigai, advancing according to those goals. So it's finding the energy and balancing the two.
Mm-hmm.
And that what's part of coming here is to reaffirm that my direction before I invest too much of my time, given that I have to manage those two aspects of my life very carefully.
Interesting that the concept of balance has come up before. Like, it comes up a lot, especially for women, because we balance a lot, right? We're balancing our careers, we're balancing our family if we still aging parents.
Yes, that's
Yes, exactly. I know that's
it's a high priority for me.
Yeah, and our health. And so it is somewhat a juggling act, but I would say that I think that's why I call my program It's My Time Now. It's really an opportunity for us to give more time to ourselves, to really understand ourselves. So thanks for sharing.
Design the life that we want.
Yes, yes, yes. So you talked a little about clarifying your Ikigai and how it's giving you some clarity. Maybe you can tell us, in the Ikigai process of discovery that we went through and that we've learned about this week, what do you think is the most important aspects that we should think about?
For me, the most important aspect was really what brings you joy. What really lights your heart. What is it that you do that you get so passionate about that, yes, you may be tired at the end of the day, but you have a smile on your face.
It energizes you.
It energizes you despite you may be fatigued, but wow, I did something that has had such an impact.
Yes.
That has brought so much value.
Yes. That's so true.
That's powerful.
Yeah. We talk a lot about here on the podcast about anabolic energy. And that, I think that's might be what you're referring to, is that when we do things that really light us up and give us that energy, it's this positive energy to move forward, even if we're tired. So, versus getting into that catabolic or negative energy where things just drain you. And we want to move away from that, right? So that can drain our health. It can drain everything. So that's amazing. And so was there any particular maybe part or moment this week, or any exercise that we've done together maybe, that have kind of really created clarity for you?
Well, it's been at different moments throughout the week, and going back towards, what are you good at? What do you like to do? What do you love to do? And the meditation in nature. So bringing all those pieces together, what came out for me very clearly, just to go back a little bit, I said reaffirming, I thought I had a pretty good idea of what my Ikigai is at this time in my life, but it's also was about looking at, okay, these things that I do that I like to do, at what periods of my life have I done them? And did I always enjoy it? And when I started reflecting on that, I did it in grade school. I did it in high school. I did it in college. I've done it in university. And I've done it through most of my working career, which was mentoring, teaching, doing workshops to facilitate team collaboration. And these are all things that I did. They weren't part of my job, but I did because
let you up.
I love helping people. And I really, really brought me joy when I could see teams go, aha, now we understand what was going on. Where people going, aha, now I know what was the issue and why I couldn't understand.
Yes.
So those moments bring you so much joy. So I've done it throughout my whole life. And it turns out it's what I really, really enjoy to do. So it just reaffirmed that was the direction I should continue on.
That is so amazing. That's a really great point for your listeners, for my listeners here. Like you can think about if you, like, let's say you're not really happy with your job in general, but what are some parts of your job or maybe on the side that you're doing that you actually love? Those are clues. And so, I say follow the breadcrumbs. Those could be clues to what you are really passionate about.
Yeah. And to be frank, even though I like the work that I was doing, to make my job more enjoyable, I always found time to insert those elements that weren't truly fully part of the job, but I negotiated with my supervisors, my bosses, can you allow this to be part how I give to the organization?
So you designed your work according to what you love as well.
Exactly.
It doesn't always have to be leaving your work and then doing it after. It can also be while you're working. You can design your work implementing some of those things that you're passionate about.
Exactly. And finding ways to, I think, bring what you like to do and what enriches your mind, and finding those elements that you can meld with your work environment. So for me, as a manager, as a director, as an executive, learning how to do coaching, learning how to mediate conflict. So those were all programs that I could get work to support. But it also fed my Ikigai, or what I love to do, is to help people. So I was able to use that new knowledge in the workplace. But now I have it as a little suitcase of tools.
So what's your next step after this then?
Exactly. So my next step is, again, I'm starting to build my business. In terms of finding the clients that I want to work with. And it's about picking the right clients for you. You don't have to work with everybody.
That's a really good point. And you're also getting your certification.
I'm getting my coaching. Another coaching.
Another way. Yes.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. Third one. But the other ones were different types of coaching.
Yes.
And I was looking for one to fill a gap that I saw in the other models. And the one with IPEC is the one that really spoke of the energy and the Ikigai. And I felt that was missing in the other models that I was looking. I'm still going to use the other models, but this complements very well.
Yeah. Lynn is a perfect example of someone who's constantly learning and improving herself, even though she has so many qualifications. And I think that's what I really admire about you is your drive to continually learn. And I think that's one of your Ikigai.
If I am not learning
correctly,
if I am not learning, I'm not happy.
Yes.
And I think discovery is so important for the mind, to keep your mind young.
Absolutely. So Lynn, if you could give one piece of advice for women who are listening, who are in this kind of transition phase in their life, career, again, there might be not sure what to do, or maybe afraid, or maybe not confident in themselves. Like, based on your experience, what's one thing you'd share with them?
Go back to your youth when you did things for the fun of it. Okay, so that can help you zero in on things that lights your heart.
Yeah.
Experiment. Try it out, test it out. How can you do it today? And continue experimenting, and don't worry about getting it right. Yeah, because it'll come.
Yes.
You'll figure it out with time.
Yes.
You'll find that sweet spot for you.
Yes. That reminds me of when I first started this podcast. I don't know if I'm going to ever re-listen the first few episodes, because it was probably terrible, because I was learning, right? We all learn, like we evolve when we learn, and it's totally okay. And in fact, if you're not Like you said earlier, if you're not learning, you're not growing, right?
Yeah.
So that's really a great piece of advice. Thank you so much. Was there anything in the process of discovering your Ikigai or through some of the exercises that you maybe want to caution or maybe a misconception about it that comes to mind?
Again, for me, and the biggest caution is don't worry about getting it right.
Yeah.
Just focus on experimentation and trying things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, working, no job is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be there for so many hours a day,
Yes.
it's going to be something that
Yes.
brings joy to your life. And keep experimenting until you find it.
Yes. Would you also say that maybe getting a little bit outside of your comfort zone is something important?
Oh, yes. Okay. I remember my first team facilitation session.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had done some public speaking in the past. But now you're working with a group of your peers to help them work more effectively together. Yeah, I was nervous. I didn't worry about getting it right. I had my notes.
Yes.
But I learned.
Yes. Yes.
Time after time. Now I could do it blindfolded.
Yes. There you go.
That's, get over your fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Use those nerves and that fear as positive energy.
Yes.
To invest.
Yeah.
In
Use it to fuel you forward rather than hold you back.
Exactly.
Absolutely. This has been such a great conversation. Thank you so much, Lynn. Your experience and the fact that you're still learning is admirable. And I learned from you, I think as a group, especially as a group of women who are in transition, learning from one another and from their challenges and from their growth, it's so important. So I thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Kavita. It's been a pleasure being on this podcast with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for these rich conversations with Lisa Solanas and Lynn Plant. If their stories resonated with you, here are 4 big takeaways to carry into your own reinvention journey. Number 1, balance is a skill, not a destination. Lisa reminded us that you don't have to burn the boats when you feel called in a new direction. She's still in her full-time job while growing her coaching practice, using clear boundaries and daily micro-decisions to protect her well-being. Ask yourself, where can I set a limit or delegate today so I can invest energy in my next chapter? Number 2, passion leaves clues, often from childhood. Both guests look back to early memories to spot what still lights them up. Lisa's love of nature-based experiences and Lynn's lifelong joy in mentoring and facilitation. Revisit the activities that absorbed you before shoulds took over. They're powerful breadcrumbs towards your Ikigai. And number 3, treat reinvention as an experiment, not an exam. Lynn's mantra, "Don't worry about getting it right," echoes Lisa's view that Ikigai is a process, not a one-time destination. Test ideas at low risk, iterate, and let real-world feedback guide you. Progress beats perfection every time. And number 4, energy is your inner compass. Notice where you are at the end of the day, even a busy day, feeling expanded rather than drained. That anabolic energy signals alignment with your Ikigai. Conversely, persistent fatigue or dread is a nudge to recalibrate. Listening is just the first step. To help you move from reflection to momentum, I'm offering a complimentary 45-minute Ikigai Clarity Call. We'll pinpoint the passions and strengths hiding in plain sight, unpack any fears or what-ifs holding you back, and outline practical steps you can take to rediscover your Ikigai. If that sounds helpful, head to itsmytimenowcoaching.com to learn more and click the link in the show notes to grab a spot that works for you. Together, we'll ensure your why feels so compelling that the how naturally follows. Until next time, remember, the perfect moment to begin doesn't exist. The present moment is all you need. Honor your energy, stay curious, and keep taking the smallest courageous steps towards the life that's calling you.